Hi everybody, this is Erez. I lead the rollout product inside CloudBees, and I'm going to give you a small tool to rollout. So this is rollout's dashboard on a fully configured application. I'm going to take you through an overview, show you the dashboard, show you how to deploy a feature and the deployment and rollout capabilities, but also the user segmentation and some other features. So on the left side, you have the main navigation menu. This is the name of the app that we're configuring, Sound Redux. If I click on this, I get to either create new applications or navigate between my different applications. I'm just going to stay with this application. Below that, we have environments, production, staging, and development. Production is generated automatically for everyone, and then you could create your own environment. Below that, we have a flags overview screen, which basically allows you to see all the flags that you have in the code. And below that, we have target groups, which allows you to create reusable segments of users. Now, on the right side, you're seeing the active feature deployments. We're in production. These are all the features that are currently being in some state of a deployment. We call them experiment. And there's some high-level information over here as to when was this feature created, last edited, and what's the impressions and the distribution across the values. And I'm going to talk more about this in a bit. If I click on following view, for instance, I can see that I'm in the audience tab, which essentially allows me to decide how to deploy the feature. And for now, everybody, all versions, all users are getting the false value. I could change this to true. I could do a split, meaning I deploy by percentage, and this is a Boolean flag, so I only have true and false. And then I could also do even a scheduled release, meaning I can decide to deploy at specific time at specific percentage. What I'm going to do though is go for a more common use case. I'm going to keep this first condition at false, and then I'm going to add a new condition. And instead of deploying to all users, what I want to do is segment my deployment. So I've already exposed some of my application properties to rollout, and I'm going to use one of those to segment the deployment. So I'm going to select property, and these are some of the application properties that I've exposed. I'm going to select plan. Plan is of string type, so I have various ways to basically compare strings. I'm going to use equals one-off, and then I'm going to give it some values. I'm going to do plan A, and then plan B. Okay, so essentially what I've done now is that I've said if the user has a plan property that is equals one of these values, he's going to get the true value, otherwise they're going to get the false value. Now this is very flexible. I could add more conditions, and now I'm going to add another condition, and instead of selecting property, I'm going to select target group. Target group, again, these are reusable segments of users that you could use across your feature deployments. I've already created a few groups of users. So I'm going to deploy to internal employees and the QA team, and everybody's going to get the true value as well. And you know what? Plan A and Plan B, they should get a 10% deployment. So I'm going to switch this to 10%. And by the way, this is a drag and drop interface. So if you need to change the order at which rules are being evaluated, that's easy to do. In terms of feature rollback, very easy to do again. You have the famous kill switch. If you need to turn this off for everybody now, you could do this very easily. And just to complete kind of the example, to show you how these groups were created, I'm going to jump to target groups. And there on the left side, I have these list of target groups that I've created. And on the right side, these are the actual configuration, what defines this target group. So if we look at the QA team, we could see that I'm looking at a property called SoundCloud ID. And I'm comparing that with IDs that these are the QA team. If I look at internal employees, it's basically a regex with an email pattern. But I could also look at DJ, which is a playlist count, which is equal or larger than 100. And below that, I could see all of on which environment this target group is being used, and for each environment on which experiments. And this is very flexible. You can define groups of users based on any combinations of properties and their values. Now, again, this is a system, so of course we have permissions and audit logs and APIs and some other things, but this is just a quick overview. Thank you for the time. If you have any other question, if I've missed something, feel free asking on the chat. And thank you.